Hello, everybody. Hope you're well, you're safe, taking care of each other. I wanted to hop on here real quick and introduce you to someone that, I think it's important in this COVID-ridden world that we're living in now. It's very important to make connections with the diaspora, Zambians, namely Zambians that are living abroad, Zambians that are dotted all across this globe, Zambians all the way from Memphis, Tennessee to the Maldives, to the islands of the sea. And this afternoon, I am privileged and honored to speak to a Zambian that lives in Greece. Would you believe it? The closest I've ever been to Greece is reading about Greek mythology. That's practically it. I've never been anywhere close to Greece. And here it is. This afternoon, I'm going to be speaking to a real live Zambian in the diaspora that's been living in Greece for the past 9 years. Her and her family are over there. And one of the most interesting points of note for me is just to get into her mind and psyche and talk to her about how they're handling COVID from a Greek perspective. And that is pretty much the reason we're doing this interview, is that I think it's important. If you have friends and family that are dotted all across the globe, connect with them, talk to them, find out how they're doing, find out how they're handling the COVID. And so today, for a very few minutes, I'd like to introduce you to Susan Mulenga Cali. Hey, Susan.
Hi, Mr. Mwewa. Hello, Facebook family.
Hey, girl, how are you?
I'm good.
It's so nice to see you.
And you too.
So tell me now, Susan Mulenga Cali, how in the world did you end up in Greece?
The big question. Well, I'm married to a Zambian Greek man. That's how come I came to Greece.
Wonderful. Now, are you there with your kids as well? Your kids are there with you?
Yes, we have 3 kids. We live with our kids. I have 3 girls. Like I said, my husband is Zambian Greek. And that's how we found ourselves here. It's pretty much an ordinary Zambian kind of story where either you make plans to travel or you want a better life or, things like that. So in our case, it's first of all, it's because my husband is originally from here. And we also wanted our kids to have a Greek experience, to live the Greek life, so they are Greek too, to us. They're Zambian Greek. So best of both worlds. I should put it that way.
Wonderful. Susan, tell me, now you're not in the capital city of Greece, which is, correct me if I'm wrong, is Athens. I understand it's Athens. Is that correct?
Correct.
But you don't live in Athens. You live in a city called Rhodes. Is it a city or an island? Tell us about that.
It's an island. Rhodes is an island. Greece has many islands. They say thousands of islands surrounding it. And the island we're living on is a part of the Dodekanistos. They call it the Dodekanistos. Forgive my Greek; it's not perfect. And this is the Canistos is referring to the 12 islands. So Rhodes is part of those 12 islands. And we're very close to Turkey. We're practically neighbors. To take maybe 30 minutes to get to Turkey from here where I am. But it's a very, very beautiful small island with very welcoming people. It's just a fantastic culture. I may miss Zambia, but it's also home here too for me now. So
Now,
Rhode Island
ha-
home.
having lived in Greece for 9 years, is there a significant Zambian community in Greece or on the island of Rhodes where you live?
Mhm. Uh, this is very important that I should point this out, especially for all Zambians who ever wish to come to Greece. You should know, first of all, that we have a Zambian consulate. So that means we have Zambian people living in Greece. So if ever anybody has a wish to, because Greece is known for tourism, for its holidays, perfect spots, and everything. So if ever someone wishes to travel, know you have Zambian people here. On Rhodes Island, yes, I'll say I'm the only Zambian girl. There are probably some maybe hidden somewhere that I've not met yet, but the entire time I've been here since 2012, I've unfortunately just met one Zambian woman. Most of the Zambians are in Athens or other islands, but here in Rhodes, it's us. We represent Zambia. But
Now,
please,
tell me
sorry.
this though: Do you do does Rhodes have a lot of black people, or is seeing a black person on the streets on a regular day an uncommon occurrence?
Here's the thing. In summer, it's when we have a lot of tourists. So tourists meaning all types of people from all over the world. So you that include black people. So that they will get to see. So when the tourism season is over and summer's over and it's all winter and it's only the locals that are left in the neighborhood, when they see a black person, usually they will assume that you're a tourist. But in our case, we've been here long enough, so they know we're part of them, so they don't consider us tourists. But yes, in the beginning, I was looked at like a tourist all the time. I would wonder why I'd get the stares, and then I remember, oh yeah, I'm black, but not in a bad way. It's just it's a different culture, a different way of looking at things. So they have that lifestyle. There's summer, there's winter. Winter is all quiet. It's usually just the locals. So not so many black people.
Tell me about the food you eat over there, because one of the first things that strikes me when I think of Greek food is the Greek salad.
Oh
Is a
yeah, I
Greek
know. That.
salad is a Greek salad like what we over here we have in Shima? Over there, is the Greek salad a staple meal or a staple start? What is a Greek salad to what does a Greek salad mean to a Greek person?
Practically, it's just a salad, Mr. Muewa. It's something on the side. It's a salad. What? I know in Zambia they have this. It's a something luxurious. Some probably for some people and order. Oh, have a Greek salad. I make a Greek salad in my home, so for me it's just a salad, normal dish on the side, vegetables.
Okay. Now, Susan, let's
But
let's talk about COVID, because I mean this is something that the whole world, as you know, is grappling with. And I was so shocked. You and I earlier were speaking in the boardroom before we went live, and you told me something that I just could not believe. You were, well, I mean, of course I believe it because you're telling me the truth. It's just astonishing. You said to me that you guys went through a lockdown as Greece. Tell us about the lockdown, how long it was enacted for, and what you guys were doing during that lockdown.
yeah, it was a lockdown. Yes, um, with Greece, one thing I admire Greece about is the preparations they made. Um, I know many people will come out and say, "Oh, you're in the diaspora, so you can say that. We're here on the ground, so you cannot compare Zambia to Greece and all that." But really, we can compare. I mean, COVID is affecting everyone. Nobody wants to die. It doesn't matter how far you are, where you are, it's there, and people are dying. So when Greece took that step to go into lockdown, it was um, a scary moment. Well, for me personally, because They had the first cases in February 2020 here in Greece, and not just confirmed cases of COVID, no deaths at that point. So it was, I think, end of March 2020, they decided to shut down all schools. And then later on, maybe a week or two later, they said now a national lockdown, because I think the time they decided to have the national lockdown, there were probably a few deaths, probably maybe 13. Don't quote me. I'm just guessing at around that amount of number of people. So the whole nation went into lockdown, and that meant a lot of restrictions. I learned that the lockdown helped us in a big way because of it, people had to follow certain guidelines, and that prevented the spread. Of course, it's still there. Even till now, people are still getting infected, but it's at a minimal, not as you would expect, the way it's probably happening now in Zambia, sadly, because I've seen many people complaining of, oh, this one passed away, or this happened, and this is all to do with guidelines. If people have a mindset of just following rules, things will be a lot better, a whole lot better. I mean, we were indoors for over, I say, 6 months. The kids had to, oh, Mr. Moa, you're a cat now.
I've just
You're no longer
disappeared.
free.
Oh my goodness. Let me switch my camera, because sometimes this app I use sometimes just dies on me. So I got to switch my camera, for goodness sake. All right, there we go.
Oh, you're back.
Can you see me now?
Perfectly, yes.
All righty. So I've got my laptop camera as a backup. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I was saying, the lockdown meant staying indoors, and of course, if you had to go out, it was under certain rules. They introduced a kind of platform where everybody had to text before leaving the house.
You had to text before you leave. Who did you text?
Let's say in Zambia there's Airtel or whatever. When they had some kind of network that was arranged where it was falling for. It doesn't matter whether you have a credit in your phone or not. It was working for any individual that had a mobile phone. So all you had to do, they had set up categories, like if you choose number two meant going to the shops. If you choose number 3, for instance, it meant going to the bank. And it was only for a specific time. And of course, you had to go out with a mask, always. And
So you always had to leave with a mask.
always. I mean, you were fined if you were found without a mask. You were fined 300 euros or jail time, if it came to that.
So stop there. So if they find you without a mask, you were charged 300 euros.
Yep.
Or you go to jail.
I mean, why risk somebody else's life? You want to die? Okay, fine. If you personally want to die, but don't kill others with you.
Interesting. Yeah.
So, I know it's my way of thinking and seeing things is a little bit funny, but really, it was all about following guidelines.
Yes.
Later on, as you know, like for the kids, there was no more school, so they introduced online education, which was also something completely new for them too, watching your friends on screen and your teachers on screen. And they also introduced a channel on TV that was strictly just for educational purposes and things like that. So that's how school went on every day.
Wow.
And there was also the fact of the non-essential workers and essential workers, and of course, but basically during the national lockdown, everything was shut. Every hotel, every restaurant, every cafeteria, no one could go. It was like a ghost town when you walk outside. No one inside, no one.
Wow.
If you do meet up with someone, sorry.
And I was going to say that, and this went on for 6 months.
Yes, and more because there's a time the restrictions got a little bit less, and they tried because July 2020 they started considering opening up the borders, trying to get a little bit of the business back in hope that tourism industry can start all over again, but it didn't work out. It didn't work out. We had to shut down again. So it was like a second kind of lockdown, or was it the third? I think we went through, I think, 3 lockdowns, I would say.
Susan, tell me about the formal sector. How did that affect people that worked in banks and big corporations and the transport sector, people in formal employment? How did that affect that whole system?
Well, for one, you should know like Greece is under the EU. It's in the EU. So sometimes even though, like again, I will say the same thing. Someone from Zambia would tell me, "Oh, Nkubasunguko, they can manage. When if we had to go on lockdown, it would be crazy. We will starve, we will die." But seriously, whether there's lockdown or not, the economy will still. It's not like even now there's no lockdown in Zambia. Everything is all perfect and nice. No, I don't think so. So I think people's health comes first. And in Greece's case, when it came to the informal sector, uh, they had backup plans. Under the EU, they were managing, despite all their financial crisis that's been going on for the last 10 years, they managed to still be able to give some kind of benefits to the people out there. People would receive what they call pandemic crisis situation benefit, something like that. I don't know exactly how you can call it, but they were receiving small amounts that would get them by, you know, it, whether you have rent to pay or bills to pay. That money it wasn't a lot. I won't lie. It's not, oh, I'm okay now. I can live like this. No, but it was just something to help people get by, while things are tough. Because seriously, things were tough. It wasn't. It's not a joke. COVID is not a joke. I've seen in Zambia, even when you're going around with your, camera live, and you'll be telling them mask up, and some will be like, oh, new lipstick. Hey, lipstick. When you die, who cares about lipstick? So it's
Yeah,
something
yeah,
really, really serious. Really, really serious.
yeah.
Something not to joke about. The most important thing is keep distance. I mean, no parties, no going to, mateveto, wedding. You need to stop. Stay at home. If only if it's really, really necessary. Like here in Greece, there were situations where they made it clear that if you have to go shopping, if delivery cannot be done, then you go to the shop. And it should be somewhere in your vicinity. Let's say if I live in Kitwe and I live in Nkane East, and I want to go to a shop, I can't get delivery, I need to go to the shop, I will still have to just go to in Nkane area, not Riverside, not Parklands. You were not allowed to go like that. It was strictly
Interesting.
distancing, and most important of all that I noticed about Zambia is the crowding. They don't stop. They just never stop. The crowding is still there. People just
Natuleka.
and it's not good. It's not healthy.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe they don't tell them. Maybe that they don't understand it. We need pun that if you mal where they have a sungu COVID they have a sungu. It's for every person, and it doesn't matter how far you are. You will say I we call and all that, but no, we're still scared. We still want to stay healthy and well. I'm totally affected because I have friends in Zambia, I have family in Zambia, and hearing such things every day is not good when things can be prevented. Of course, the government is there; they can do what they can and all that. But even the people themselves can find a way to work around these things by just following the guidelines. wash your hands all the time. Not nam la mask chalamba omlik kata kumona I mean, so why? When you get home, first thing you do, wash your hands. And you don't have to have the fancy sanitizers. Soap, even if a normal lifebuoy, whatever. Nicely. It's even much better, actually. Much, they say it's more effective. Effective.
So, Susan, let's talk a little bit about vaccinations and the vaccine,
Okay.
the COVID vaccine in particular. Tell us a little bit about how the Greek authorities rolled that out and how the Greek citizens responded to the COVID vaccine.
Okay. Uh, I would say, like every other country, like in Zambia, I know in Zambia many people are afraid of it. They worry about the effects and all that, the rumors that go around. It's the same here. It's the same. Basically, um, there's fear, and there are those who don't have the fear. It's like I heard you say this once. It's all science. Believe what the science is. It's just there. You know, I don't personally. I don't. I'm scared. I won't lie. I'm also scared of the vaccine. I haven't taken it yet, but I'm considering it, and I want it because I think it's better safe than sorry. I mean, I don't want to die. Nobody wants to die, and if there's a lesser risk once you're vaccinated, so they say. I mean, if you don't get vaccinated and get it, it's a high percentage you will die. Sad to hear, it's sad to say that, but that's true. But if
Yeah.
you have it, there's a less percentage. So yes, I am considering it, but I am scared. And
Yeah.
yes, Greek people also were scared and probably are still scared because not everyone is taking the vaccine. I won't lie, not everyone is. There's still that it's not yet balanced. There's still the questions because you find sometimes in the news media somebody will say, "Oh, that person got injected and they had some magnetic forming experience on their arm," or some crazy stories. Some things like, "Oh, someone passed out or someone died after the vaccination." But one thing you should also learn, I think, is maybe the best solution is to see a doctor before you take the vaccine. Get to understand what's going on with your body and if it's ready and you take it. I think maybe that's the best option if people are that scared because I don't think something like that would be aimed to kill the entire world. I don't think someone is planning to, eradicate the whole world. Impossible. I mean,
Yeah, it's
where's
not
God?
true. I mean, yeah, I mean the conspiracy theories, they just grow legs and they run all over the planet. But one of the things that's very difficult, especially when you're dealing with a couple, it's different when you're single and you're alone and you make that decision. Usually when you're, when because we went through this, my wife and I went through this, where we were trying to decide should we or should we not. And I remember one time I told my wife, I said, okay, we're going at this time at 14 hours. Let's get the kids and we go. An hour before this, my wife calls me up and says, we're not going. I said, why are we? She says, no, let's wait. I said to her, I said, we can't wait. If we wait, we're going to keep waiting forever. So finally, I had to force her and the kids to get it. So my point is, sometimes when you're in a couple situation, it's difficult to make a corporate decision because maybe your partner is not for it. How did you handle that in your household? Are you in your family? Are you with it and your husband's not, or vice versa? Tell us about that.
I think I'm more with it than he is. He says yes, yes, we should do it, but that yes with a no in it, you know.
That yes with a no in it. I love it.
So I think eventually we'll just have to because in the end there'll be a point where it's a must. I'm seeing that. I think the future will be like that where because another example I'll give you right now here in Greece to go to work. you have to have a test every week. They have this COVID rapid tests. Even my girls would take it for going to school every week. It was compulsory. It has to be done. You have to every Monday, or is it every Thursday? You have to present your COVID results. And of course, as long as it's negative, you continue working. If it's positive, of course, you seek treatment. So it's like they're keeping a tab on everybody. That's the way it's working. That's how things are kind of a little bit stable. Of course, there are rebellious people. There are people who do crazy things, hold parties. You know, we've heard of these things called the Corona parties and stuff like that. It's like that everywhere else, every country.
Corona parties.
Oh, you've never heard of? There are such
I've
things
never
called
even heard of that. That's the first time I've ever heard of that. A Corona party?
It happens, and those things are prohibited, not allowed, because they spread the virus. But you have, teenagers going rebellious and stuff like that. But one thing I can encourage Zambians to do, despite the hard economic situations and everything, is just do the simplest that you can. That is, stay away from crowds. You don't have to go visiting your friend. Just talk on the phone. You don't have to, you know, have to go to that party. You don't have to do all those things. And they should find a way, hopefully in Zambia, where they can make things more technological. They have less contact with people. The less contact with people, the less spread. I think that's the key. That's why the whole lockdown thing, it helps. So in the case of Zambia, where, for instance, there are people who are still working in their offices, and if, for instance, let's say some manager or whoever's running the company discovers that there are people who are getting sick and then decides not to say anything, that's also bad. That's why people in other countries end up going in lockdown, because they don't want those kind of situations. Because some people don't think of their health, or everybody's health. They're thinking of money, or thinking of whatever it is that they're thinking, and they would rather risk somebody's life. And that's unfair, and that's a crime. That's wrong. So you have to think of all those things in life. You have to. It's a reality check. I know for Zambia now, maybe it's probably a huge wake-up call, because now deaths are coming in. But things can turn around if they just do the right thing. And that's washing hands, mask. Please stay away from
Susan,
people. Alai Sampukonkosha, oh, go to my phone. Be Muzungu now. Start saying, oh, make an appointment. Call me when you're free. Something like that. No more if you're no,
kuburikira fewaisa vyatitwaisa.
no.
Susan, let me ask you about your numbers now, because of course now we're now going to the middle of 2021. The numbers in Greece, are they declining in as far as COVID is concerned? Have you plateaued? What are the numbers saying? Are there less infections, more vaccination? Just tell me about your numbers from a layperson's point of view.
I think there are more vaccinations, and with the cases, it's kind of a seesaw. You hear parts of Greece, or today but like here in Rhodes, no, we don't have as many cases. I don't think they can even reach 100. I doubt that very much.
Wow. That's amazing. Now, last question, Susan, is when you do right now, are you able to just walk out of your house now as we're speaking now? Is there is no lockdown now, right?
No lockdown.
Okay, so you can move freely.
Yes, sorry. We have tourists coming in. Now is summer, so it's a tourism period. So we have people coming in from other countries, and of course they obviously have to go certain precautions, and they are probably having their tests done before they come, whether vaccinated or not. I guess you still have to go through those kind of things. And it's like we're trying to get back to normal a little bit. It's not over yet, but we're trying. Right now, no masks. Of course, when it's crowded or you have to go in a store and closed place, you still have to wear your mask. But I can step outside right now without a mask. It's okay.
Okay. So right now, the there is no strong restriction, and as far as the masks are concerned, you can walk around without a mask. You will not be fined or
No,
charged. Okay.
no.
Okay. All righty. Well, hey, Susan, we're so thankful that you gave us an insight into your perspective of the coronavirus in your community in the beautiful country of Greece on the lovely island of Rhodes. Before you go, please tell me one unique thing about Rhodes, Greece. Anything.
It's beaches. It's beaches. They're beautiful. It's beaches you will love to see. Ugh. It's
Wow. Just the way you say that makes me think that they're picturesque beaches. The beaches that look like they're taken from a photograph.
uh, I'll send you some pictures, Mr. Mwewa. You will agree with me when you see them. It's beautiful. So that's
Wow.
why I said from the beginning, every Zambian that wants to come to Greece, please. We have the Zambian consulate. They have your back all the time. Those who want to do business with Greece, Zambian consulate is here.
Amazing. You know, I must tell you, Susan, I must tell you
Yeah.
this. It's never occurred to me, not once, it's never once occurred to me to ever go to Greece. I've never sat down and thought, you know what, let's go to Greece. It's never come to me. But now listening to you speaking about it, the way you're talking about Greece makes me want to go and get a visa and come to Greece.
Please do. And bring along as many people as you can. Just make sure you take your COVID test and all that. you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Please do.
Absolutely. Susan Mulenga Calais, thank you so much for your time. And,
Thank you.
And we hope that whenever the opportunity does arrive, we'll come to Greece, or whenever you guys come to Zambia, please pass through and say hello. Please, greetings to your husband and your children, and please stay safe over there in Rhodes, Greece.
Thank you, Mr. Mwewa. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure, a real pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank
you,
you.
my dear.
And thank you, family, for listening. I hope you've learned something.
Oh, absolutely.
Take care.
I have.
Safe.
Thank you, my dear.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you. Peace.